What? Dude. Fish on.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
This is Andy Rowe from rowpaint.com. If you've thought about finishing your garage floor, patio, or business, give us a call. We have dozens of floor coating options to fit a variety of budgets and tastes. From polishing to stone finishes, decorative chips, and more, rowpaint.com is the largest applicator of specialty coatings in the Treasure Valley. Let the official coatings company of the Broncos bring you a 5-star experience and product.
My husband and I are like, we should have done this sooner, and it really changes your garage. Your garage is just so much cleaner, and it stays so much cleaner. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but it does. And it's literally my favorite room in our house right now. I would definitely recommend Row Paint to my friends, family, and neighbors. The outcome was amazing. The process was amazing. Row Paint was so awesome, and I am highly impressed, and I would use them for other things as well.
rowpaint.com. Power in people, pride in painting.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? A happy Thursday to you. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. John Mallory is with me. We got a big announcement to make here momentarily, but Johnny, as I say once a year, I'm once again a blogger in my parents' basement back here in St. Louis for a few days. I got the Rob Raines palace behind me here. Some of my old baseball trophies are actually up here in the corner. Believe it or not, Johnny, I won a trophy or two back in the day. The mobile Cutwater Studios in St. Louis for a few days. You're there back in Boise in the Row Paint Studios at KTIK. You juggled the schedule around this week because you were on vacation for a few days, but you're back, and appreciate you joining us here on a Thursday. How we doing?
BJ, thank you, man. Good-looking trophy collection there. I would imagine you're going to find room in the suitcase to pack those when you leave back to Boise and throw them somewhere in your house, I would have imagined.
I don't need the 2001 Little League trophy, no.
Oh, BJ, you're right. You are the 4-time NMSA Sports Writer of the Year here in Idaho. That's good enough, but I'm excited to be back from vacation, BJ. I always get recharged, ready to go and start my new week. Talking to you today, man.
Appreciate it, as always, everybody, for joining us. Again, we're going to make an announcement. We're going to talk some football a little later in the show. Obviously, we're continuing our countdown to camp series. We're talking today about the wide receivers and who will be Boise State's leading receiver. Johnny, the event at Stein Distributing, while we wait for our special guest to jump on here, I quickly want to mention, I got a little quick 36-second recap I wanted to play. Last Thursday, Stein Distributing, we had a great time. Leon Rice, Spencer Danielson, Q&A. If you missed it, here's what you missed. That was our first time trying that, Johnny. I know you helped out with some of the questions in the audience, but that was a fun time, man.
Well done on that. You guys got to keep doing those production videos. Keep the imaging up to speed here at BNN, PJ. Well done. That was cool.
I know that's big for you. You're big on the imaging and the you always get on me for that. But yes, we appreciate one of our guys we hired to do that. Made a nice video there. So all right, let's get to our first announcement. I know one of our two guests is here. Hopefully the second one will join shortly. But we're talking about the TBT tournament, Johnny. We're excited for this. Obviously the game is coming up July 17th, 6 p.m. Bora High School, 3-point contest, dunk contest, full game, $10 for your tickets. You can get them right there at the Once a Bronco Legends Classic. And again, $10 for that. They're going to be playing in the game. And if you can't make the game, you can also donate. There's their GoFundMe right there on the screen. And we've been to all different countries for these announcements. We've been to Italy, we've been to Japan, we've been to Germany, and we're going. We're all over the world with this team. We're excited, Johnny, for our guest to join us. And let's announce the next member of the TBT team and one of our first forwards. A ton of guards, but finally getting in the paint a little bit here. Najee Smith joining us, and he is playing professionally, and he is coming back to join the TBT team. Najee Smith, and he joins us right now. There he is. How we doing, Najee?
I'm doing good. How you doing, BJ?
We're doing good, man. Me and John Mallory here, we're excited when we found out you were going to be joining the team and coming on. And, man, I know fans are excited too. What's this mean to you to get a chance to join the Once a Bronco team here for the tournament?
It's definitely a great opportunity, and I really appreciate Once a Bronco reaching out to me and just having me be able to come back and give back to the community and put once again Once a Bronco on.
What when this opportunity came about, and I know we'll get into your professional career here now, but just like you said, to get a chance to come back to Boise and play in front of the fans again and be a part of this team. I know there's $1 million on the line too, but what was kind of appealing when James Reed reached out to you and asked you about joining the team?
Well, I've always watched the TBT games, and so it's definitely been a goal of mine to play against some high-level guys with high-level guys. So, and just being an alumni and getting to see a lot of the old guys, I'm excited to play with a lot of my old teammates, so I think it's going to be fun.
Hold on, Johnny. Before you jump in, Johnny, I just got to remind you, Najee, the whole team hasn't been announced yet. We have most of the guys out there, but you can't try not to let the cat out of the bag. And your former teammate, going to be current teammate again, is late, so I'm going to send him a text here while we're talking to tell him to get on. But for our next guest, but Johnny, just wanted to remind Najee we haven't announced the whole team yet here. But go ahead, Johnny.
Najee, you are looking good, dude. Looks
Thank
like
you.
pro basketball, wherever you are, is treating you really well, man. How you been, dude?
I've been good. Just got back from Romania a few weeks ago and getting back into the lab.
So tell us about your pro journey. What league are you playing in? What's the competition like? Just what's the day-to-day life of being an overseas professional basketball player from America?
I'm playing in the top Romanian league right now. Lots of good teams, lots of good players in there. We have a Euro Cup team, FIBA Euro Cup, Champions League team. So it's been a really good experience just kind of getting out of the States, going to see Europe, kind of adjusting to the European basketball. It's definitely a lot different, something that took me a while to adjust to, but I've really enjoyed it. And, yeah, I'm excited for more to come.
And I got some highlights here that we can play, guys. Again, we're visiting with Najee Smith. And I got to be honest, I watched about 30 seconds, Johnny, and I saw like 6 straight dunks of the first couple of clips. I mean, looks like very similar to our next guest that we're going to bring on in a minute too. But tell us about kind of your style of play and your game and how that fits in over there in Romania.
It's good. I'm a high energy. I like to play above the rim. I like to play fast in transition. So I'm just hoping to bring that to the team, someone that can be an energy guy, a glue guy that makes a lot of highlight plays above the rim and blocks a lot of shots.
Get Najee. Oh, on that guy. Naj, you're getting they're selling out of posters in Romania of little Romanian kids with Najee Smith posters in their room. Holy smokes, dude. Nice work.
Thank you.
Hey, man, tell just this. We see the gym here, kind of an interesting gym here. Just what is pro basketball like over there? And I know Johnny joked about the kids and stuff, but what is kind of the interest level amongst the folks there for basketball over there?
There's definitely a lot of fans who are very, very into basketball. It's cool seeing how so many people that they don't have like their NBA teams. They don't really have their college. So this is kind of it for them. So it's really cool to see how the fans get behind their teams and just how crazy they can get. And you never know. You never know what you're going to get with these gyms out here. It could be a really nice gym with lots of money, or you could be going somewhere with the floors beaten up, the rim's a little shaky. So you just never know what you're going to get.
Do they smoke cigarettes in the stands in that league? Have you ever seen that, Naj?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, how does your professional schedule allow you to be a part of TBT and get to chase down this championship? Is your season over, and when does that resume?
Yes, the season started up in August preseason, and then it goes all the way until the end of May, I believe.
Look at that shot there at the end of the shot clock there. A couple of questions in the chat. By the way, folks are pumped for you. Let's go. Bust out the headbands. Can't wait. Najee is a good dude. Great baller. We got, oh, yeah, unexpected. Awesome. A lot of folks are fired up. What are the significant differences between USA ball and European ball?
I would say just a few rule changes about being able to stay in the paint. When the ball's on top of the rim and rolling around, you come knock it off. I'm definitely going to have to learn how to do that. And then just the schemes, I would say, behind the basketball. There's definitely a different brand of basketball you play, a lot more methodical, a lot more. I wouldn't say U.S. isn't methodical, but I would say it's definitely more team-oriented.
In terms of your pro career? I mean, what's you're obviously playing over there, but I mean, what's your big long-term goals, and what are you hoping to do? And I assume it's just make as much money as you can and play as long as you can. But what's kind of, I mean, would your hope still to be to put some film together and try to get a chance to come back over here, whether it's the G League or whatever else? I mean, what's kind of your dream at this point with pro basketball?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got a lot of experience playing some higher level teams in our league. That were Euro Cup level, FIBA Euro Cup. So it's definitely to advance just level to level and then see if I get a chance to do summer league and then try to do the 10-day contract and then try to make it back to the league is still the goal and just enjoy basketball while I'm doing it.
Naj, this team, TBT, I mean, family reunions are terrific, and I'm sure you're excited to get together with the guys again. But, last time Boise State had a TBT franchise, they were 0-1, I think, BJ. It'd be nice, obviously, for you guys to make a dent in this tournament, get out of that first round. Like I said, family reunions are fun, but how serious are you guys about, trying to win this thing?
We know what it is. It's business. Business is business. When there's $1 million on the line, we're all locked in. We all definitely want to win and then kind of trailblaze our own way.
What do you know what it takes to? I mean, have you watched this tournament before? And in terms of just the style of play and things, I mean, it seems like James Reed knows what he's doing here, and he's putting together a team. And you guys are going to practice and be ready to go. I mean, but what's it going to take in a tournament like this to try to win a game or two in advance?
Definitely outscore them, get to the Elam number before they do. Put the ball in the basket, stop them from putting the ball in the basket. But I think just compete. Compete and play hard, play together, I think is the goal.
And what's yes. Go ahead, Johnny.
I was just going to say the level of competition in TBT, is that better than the level of competition in the top Romanian league, in your opinion?
I would say yes, it is. There's definitely a lot of guys who can play, a lot of guys who did play in the TBT. A lot of stuff. We had a few ex-NBA players, so there's definitely high level talent in Romania. But I think TBT across the board, player for player, pound for pound is definitely better.
And give a sales pitch to the fans here why they should pay the $10 and come watch you guys there at Bora High School on July 17th.
Hey, come watch us. Come get a sneak peek, a little preview of what's to be unveiled on live television. There's going to be a lot of high-level players, a lot of high-level guys that just love to hoop. If you love basketball, you know where you should be.
Now, your former teammate was supposed to join us here and hasn't. Should we unveil him anyway or wait for the next episode here, or what do you think?
I think he'd probably want to be unveiled, to be honest.
All right, before we let you go, we'll just announce then that the next member of TBT, Marcus Shaver Jr., also is going to be on this team. We'll still try to get him on for a live interview. He's unable to join us right now, but Marcus Shaver Jr. joining at TBT as well. Najee, I know you're looking forward to playing with a lot of these guys, but it's got to be cool also for you to get to play with a guy that you played with at Boise State.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely cool to someone that I watched grow and someone that I grew with the 3 years that we were there. I'm very excited to get on the court with him again.
Max Rice as well. You're gonna have you're gonna have plenty of familiarity with this team.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. A lot of chemistry.
There you go. Hey man, Johnny, you got anything final for Najee here?
Just best of luck. It's good to see you, Naj. You look like you're doing really well. People in Boise still love you, still follow you, try to, and still think about you and talk about you. And you made a big footprint here in Boise in your years. So look forward to seeing you when you get into town next month, man.
I would echo that, man. Appreciate you for joining us, Najee, and best of luck and stay healthy. And we'll see you in Boise in a couple of weeks here for this tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know you guys have some community events planned with the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, some other charity stuff, and obviously culminate with the big game and looking forward to that. And if we can sell it out, I've already said we can't do it unless we sell it out because I want people to come. But if we can sell it out, we're going to try to stream that game here on BNN, the dunk contest, the 3-point contest. I assume you're going to be in that dunk contest, right?
That's what the fans want.
What
they want, Najee.
I don't know. I saw him hit some threes in that video too. You might be able to take down both contests. But appreciate you again, Najee, man. Best of luck with everything in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you in Boise, man. Going to be a lot of fun.
I appreciate you for having me.
Thanks. There he is. Appreciate Najee Smith for joining us, Johnny. And TBT now up to 8 members. And again, apologize that Marcus Shaver Jr. couldn't join us. But Johnny, here's a look at the 8 guys on the squad. Thomas Broplay, Najee Smith, Cam Martin, Justinian Jessup, Max Rice, Derek Marks, Marcus Shaver Jr., and Abu Kijab. I'll tell you what, man, just looking at this list and knowing who the last 2 players are too, like if you're Leon Rice and you're sitting back looking at this, or if you're a Boise State basketball like diehard fan, like this is pretty darn cool to see the Derek Marks of the world, playing with the Max Rices of the world. I mean, these overlapping layers, and this is a pretty cool deal to see the amount of pro players that they have and the amount of guys that are wanting to be a part of this team when you look at the last decade plus of Boise State basketball.
Yeah, look at this view right here, BJ. You got Marks and Broplay, kind of the older guys. Those guys are in their 30s now, right? You got Jessup and Kijab, kind of the mid-level guys, and then I'll throw Cam in there age-wise. And then younger, with Max, Shaver, and Naj. I mean, you have all different eras, and hopefully they can play a lot of different ways. TBT is serious. Naj knows this. He just said it. It's better than the pro league he plays in. Tons of ex-NBA guys in this thing and very high-level players. So, yes, this team looks terrific, but I don't know who they're going to match up with, but I'm sure that team will look terrific too. This is going to be an interesting deal when this happens because it is happening, and then TBT very intelligently runs their tournament in the slowest sports month of the year, July, right? And this might get some traction in Boise, Idaho. This team is legit, dude. Those guys can play. Maybe they can win a game, 2, 3, and maybe make something happen here.
I'm looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun. They actually do have like betting lines on this, Johnny. I remember being in Vegas one year for Mountain West tournament when this thing, or Mountain West Media Days, when this thing was going on.
Will we be there for that?
I think it's the week before. Media Days are the week before because then they come to Boise the next week when we get back. This year it's different, but they do have the what was I trying to the bracket unveiling will be coming up in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll find out their opponent, their date, the time, and the TV channel for that game. That is coming in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. All right, our countdown to camp continues. We're on question, I believe, 14. Who is Boise State's leading wide receiver going to be? Who will lead Boise State in terms of catches, yards, touchdowns? We'll discuss that in just a second, but want to thank a few sponsors. How about Cutwater Spirits? More than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, Perfect for the next game day tailgate, round on the golf course, or just anytime you're looking for a good time. Rowpaint.com, check them out as well. The title sponsor here at BNN, whether it's the concrete coatings for that back patio, the garage, the basement, whether it's the interior, exterior residential painting, commercial, industrial, you name it, all your painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We'll be kicking up season 2 of the Tyson Degenhart Show here in the next couple of weeks when I get back from vacation. ICCU, all your banking. And again, Brent Cotter in the mortgage home loan department does a tremendous job helping us with our home loan. He can help you as well. Brent Cotter, if you're looking for a home loan, reach out to me and I'll help you get in contact with Brent. And again, ICCU, all your banking needs. We appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. Matt Bauscher Real Estate. I knew the numbers said he was number 1, but I found out just firsthand the process of buying and selling a home usually is not a fun, easy, and enjoyable one, but it could not have been better with Bauscher Real Estate and his team. Kelly, Cade, Sarah, Matt, the whole team, first class. I highly, highly recommend it. Sometimes the bigger brokerages, you think, okay, I'm not going to get that personal attention. That's not the case. Matt and his team were awesome. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. All your banking needs, make sure you check them out. BauscherRealEstate.com, all your real estate needs. And again, no home too big or too small for Matt and his team. Ridley's Family Markets, we appreciate them as well. Go download their Skip app. You get savings up to 40% at the checkout line. Love that Cuno location down there just past Johnny's house. ShopRidleys.com. Check them out, ShopRidleys.com. Find a location near you, get more information. And we appreciate the Ridley family and Ridley's Family Markets. All right, Johnny, I wanted to do this on the day that you were on, and it kind of worked out this way. But we talked last week about Chris Marshall and Cam Camper and about who was going to be the better contributor there. And we kind of got into a broader discussion of the wide receivers. And I said, well, let's hold that discussion for another day. Well, that day has arrived. Question 14 on our countdown. Who is Boise State's leading wide receiver going to be? And we've talked a lot about all the options, man, whether it be Latrell Caples, the Austin Bolt, Prince Strauns, Chase Penry, one of these new guys. I mean, there's 6-7 wide receivers that it's going to be an interesting year to watch the wide receivers and see how the receptions and the targets are divvied up. But before we kind of break down some of these guys, generally, what's your take on that question? Boise State's leading wide receiver in 2024.
It might be somebody different when it comes to receptions and yards. That's kind of where I am right now. I know, we had Latrell Caples on IST. I know you had Latrell Caples on BNN, and I'm buying in really hook, line, and sinker to Latrell Caples leading this team in receptions, familiarity with the offense, the relationship and rapport with Dirk Cutter. The appetite Latrell expressed both with you and us here on Idaho Sports Talk, how hungry he is to get back and be a premier wide receiver on this team and in this conference. I'm going to go with Latrell, BJ, buying in that he's going to lead this team in catches, but I think it could be something different or another player, BJ, in terms of yards, because I think the way they're going to operate, Latrell a couple of years ago when he had all those catches didn't have a ton of yards going with it. A lot of his stuff was underneath. So maybe that's what they're going to do this year. But yeah, I'll take Latrell Caples receptions. Where are you on that?
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet. I think that Bolt and Strawn certainly are going to have maybe more of the yard numbers in terms of the deeper catches down the field. But you're right. I think, and not to say Latrell Caples is only going to be some short dump-off guy or over-the-middle guy. I think Latrell Caples can do it all as well. But I do think that he's probably your guy that's going to be used more. He's the guy on third down. They're probably going to target more. Again, I do think some people forget what he did 2 years ago before that injury. But it's just such an unknown, man, with Marshall and Camper. We saw Marshall, he looked great in a couple of those in the spring practices. He just looked so fluid, so smooth. Maybe Marshall's going to come out and have 9 catches in the first game against Georgia Southern, and we're going to go, oh, man, they got a NFL receiver on their hands here, and then things change. There's just so many unknowns with some of these guys.
Yeah, and if he has 9, maybe Trell has 7. I didn't notice much of a separation athletically, if any, between Latrell Caples and the guys you mentioned, too. They were all out there in spring. Latrell looks bigger, faster, and stronger, too, but Yeah, that's the unknown, dude, because Chris Marshall could have played college football at any school he wanted to. He just needed to pick up a phone and call a coach and say, I want to come there. Every school in America would have given him a scholarship. And Cam Camper went the road less traveled, right? Had to go to a JC first, then go to Indiana, then deal with injuries. Now he's back at Boise. BJ, with what, 1 year to play as far as we know? Or does he get another year possibly with an injury? Do you have any update on Cam Camper's eligibility?
I believe it's only 1 year.
That's what I was thinking as well. 1 year. So, I mean, that's the unknown. If both those guys or one of those guys are not only going to pop, but are going to tell the fan base, oh, okay, that's just the best receiver on the team. Okay, yeah, we were looking at Bolt and Prince and Trell thinking, okay, these guys are really good receivers. Okay, but here's what 800 yards in the Big Ten looks like. Here's what the opportunity to play college football at any school in America looks like. And Marshall and Camper come in and they just overshadow what Boise State previously had. We really don't know because we didn't see Marshall much. We didn't see anything of Cam Camper. If that does happen, BJ, then holy smokes, Boise State's going to be looking good in that direction and probably will have their next NFL receiver. It's hard for me to believe, BJ, that there's not one or maybe two NFL kids sitting in that receiver room right now. You've seen the talent like I have, and we just kind of look at each other and shake our head at kind of the size, speed, and athleticism of that receiver room, man.
By the way, Marcus Shaver Jr. got back to me and didn't realize he was on Pacific time, thought he was on Mountain time, screwed up the time. He's going to join me and Jay Tuss tomorrow. So we'll have Marcus Shaver Jr.
Shot. Yep. Shaver. You guys will have fun with that.
He'll join us tomorrow. He apologized via text. He thought he was on Mountain time, but he wasn't. Okay, so 3 years ago, 2021, I guess it was, 77 catches for Khalil Shakir. He had 77 catches to lead the team his last year. And then you had 51 for Caples. And then, believe it or not, last year, even though he didn't play in like the last 4 games, Eric McAllister was still the leading receiver with 47 receptions, I believe. How do you think this shakes out? Is it going to be a lot of guys in the 30-40 range? What's the number the leading receiver has? Does somebody get into that 70-80 range, or is this going to be 5 guys or 4 guys kind of in the 40 range? How do you see this playing out?
Well, unless like what you were saying happens where Chris Marshall or Cam Camper have 9 catches against Georgia Southern, and it's like, okay, there's a clear receiver 1 here. If that doesn't happen, I would say maybe in the 50s, low 60s as far as receptions. Now, are there 2,000-yard receivers this year? That's going to be tough with how much Coach Cutter is going to want to run the ball and throw to the backs. Gentie's going to catch 40-plus balls. That's a given, right? Who knows what other running backs will get an opportunity to catch passes. Throw in the tight ends. I'm not going to go crazy there, but can I give Louder 30 catches this year? That feels like I'm being generous, thinking Louder can get you 30 catches for about 450 yards, 4 or 5 teeters, that type of thing. BJ, I don't see anybody with heavy stats, like all conference first team. You got to put this guy on. Now, maybe there's a guy that has like 10 touchdowns on big plays. Maybe that guy is like Prince Strawn. I'm super high on Prince, as you know. I think he's gonna be really good this year. I think Prince actually might lead this team in receiving yards, where I think Luttrell will lead the team in catches.
A lot of love on here, as expected, for Austin Bolt, and obviously with what his being a local guy, and looks like he's finally ready to break out here. Let's see. Sky says Bolt was reported to have possibly the best spring camp.
What Cutter said. He's right.
Tequila Gus got a really good feeling about Bolt. I think he breaks out this year, Shoemaker style. What you mentioned? You mentioned Prince Strawn or Bolt? Who do you think has the better year?
That's close. I'm going to go with Prince, though. I just think he's a more complete receiver from what I've seen. Yeah. But what Cutter said about Bolt, that he had the best spring camp of any receiver, that's legit. Austin Bolt's going to have an opportunity to have a big time year, if you ask me. And man, you can't coach speed, right, BJ? What a weapon he is running deep. We'll see what they do across the middle with him. Me and you saw Bolt make a lot of plays at practice, and it wasn't just a 9 route. It wasn't just going deep, dude. They were doing a lot of things with him. What I would put Bolt and Prince, probably 25 plus catches to both of them. Maybe one gets in the 40 range and the other's at 25, 27, few hundred yards, but some big plays with Bolt coming this year too. I've always kind of wondered too why they never tried to factor in Austin Bolt in a kick returning game, not punt returns, but kick returns, long stride, that type of deal. But I didn't see him experimenting there. Maybe they want to keep him healthy, BJ. I don't know, man. That's what's really cool about this receiver room. We know we like a lot of these players.
Yeah.
We just don't know who's going to get to play, who's going to get the game reps. That we don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes what's the old saying about quarterbacks? If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback or whatever. I mean, is there any sense? I mean, because there's not that obvious leading receiver. I mean, is that any kind of cause for concern, or do you think this 6'7" is going to be very solid?
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if there's sulking, pouting, if guys who are coming here with only 1 year to play to get to the NFL and they don't get to play because Austin Bolt and Prince Strawn, according to this coaching staff, are better players than them. I mean, think about that. That's not going to please a lot of people. You would think a guy like Cam Camper, who I'm referencing there, with 1 year to play, he thinks he's going to the NFL. They all do. You have to think that way. And he's not coming to Boise State not to play for a year or play minimally and have 17 catches for 287 yards and 2 teeters, right? That's not what he's coming here to do. But it's a crowded room. I don't know, BJ. It's gonna be interesting, dude. What do you think? You answer that question.
In which part of it? Because I don't know. This is just going to be very interesting. We haven't even mentioned Chase Penry's name yet either, and he's a guy that I don't think is going to have 60 catches, but I think he's going to be what's the over/under on catches for Chase Penry this year? Does he have 25 catches?
I don't know. I mean, then whose catches are you taking away? The quarterback for Boise State this year is not going to throw the football 500 times. Okay, maybe not even 400 times. I don't know how many balls and how many targets are going to go around on this thing, especially when you factor in a very large portion of passing targets are going to go to number 2, Ashton Genty. He might lead the team in receptions, and I don't know if that's a bad deal. It's never a bad thing if Ashton Genty has the football in his hands. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know where Penry fits. And what's your? I'm curious on your opinion on this too, because it's kind of an interesting topic. We don't really. I mean, we're just kind of all in wait and see mode, right?
There's just a lot of unknowns. Again, like I said, Chris Marshall and Cam Camper. If you tell me right now Cam Camper has 60 catches for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns, like that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me if you tell me Chris Marshall's going to finish the season again, 50, 60 catches, have a lot of yards. Like it wouldn't shock me, but it also wouldn't shock me if Cam Camper has 22 receptions and it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. I mean, I could see this going either way for a lot of those guys. I also think we really expect Prince Strawn and Austin Bolt to take that next step, but you're also, you're banking on them having, taken big step forwards, which isn't a guarantee that that's going to happen. So I think that's also, it's not just a given that Austin Bolt and Prince Strawn are ready for 50 catches this year. I mean, we think they are. It looks like it. Prince Strawn really did some nice things, especially later in the season, and Bolt finally staying healthy and doing some things. But again, there's question marks with both those guys as well. They haven't proven it yet. The only guy that's really done it and proven it, at least at Boise State at this level, and I guess you could say Camper. He proved it when he was healthy in the Big Ten in Indiana. But I mean, Latrell Capels, he had 51 catches 2 years ago. He led this team in receiving, so I think he is your safe bet. And there's a lot of folks commenting about it, like, hey, from the Achilles injury, that's a pretty quick turnaround, and it is. So again, you got guys coming off injuries, guys coming off the field issues, guys at new schools, guys expecting big things. Like, there's just a lot of question marks. I could very easily see this group being awesome and amazing. And if they can get a quarterback that can throw them the ball, like this could be one of the strengths of the team. But I also think that maybe there's some guys that if they don't have great seasons, you're going to go, yeah, well, that's not a huge surprise. Maybe should have seen this coming. So I really could see it going either way with a lot of these guys. Is there anybody else that worth a mention? I mean, once you get to Chase Penry at number 6, is there anybody else on this wide receiver roster depth chart that I know they like some of these younger guys, but I just don't know if this is the year they're going to make an impact.
I'll tell you this. Yeah, if we want to mention that, I know he got hurt early, but I was falling in love with
Greer.
Jackson Greer, man.
Yes.
That dude was open all the time, catches everything, really good hands, works hard. Yes, sir, no, sir type of attitude. He got hurt early in that camp. I think the day, where were we talking about that? Like kind of when it happened, BJ?
Yes, we were. We were both standing there watching. That was tough.
We saw the injury there. Yeah, I'll say Jackson Greer was having a hell of a spring. Kid was a stinking playmaker, and but dude, way down the road. Camper was a focal point for an offense in the Big Ten. Started for Indiana. He's really coming here to work or to figure out and factor into a revolving door and a musical chairs. I guess maybe. I mean, there's just too much talent in this room. I like where Prince is along with Bolt. But if Camper and Marshall are just better than them, then it's going to be Camper, Marshall, and Latrell Caples. That's going to be the threesome. And Prince and Bolt will obviously rotate in, as will Penry. But I don't think Penry in this system can think he's going to get more than 15 snaps a game. I don't know where they're going to factor it in. Good problems to have. And you got to convince them, BJ. Matt Miller's got to convince all of them, hey, you're all going to eat the same. It's just going to be spread out a little differently. At the end of the year, you guys are all going to be happy with your numbers, but there might be a game where a couple guys get 6 and 7 balls and a couple guys don't get a target, but it'll all even out. And at the end of the year, everybody's going to be fed. Everybody's going to be happy, and we're going to be going to the playoffs, that type of thing. That's how you got to sell it to the room, and I'm sure they're doing that. And I don't know if there's a stiffer competition when fall camp starts, BJ, than who are going to be the 3 starting receivers in this offense.
We'll finish up the discussion with that in just a second. But first, Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles online. You can do what the Raines family did. We found a couple we liked, did all the research, went in, saw them in the lot, test drove them, and then picked this one out in a couple of hours. We were on our way. Lithia Ford Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. The Blue and Orange Store, you need some Boise State gear, get on in there to the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com, whether it's shirts, jerseys, caps, bumper stickers, car flags, anything, they've got it for you. They got the Ashton Genty Heisman shirts as well. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com, and again, free shipping any order over $40 at theblueandorangestore.com. You ever thought of getting into the trucking industry? Well, if you have, you should give the folks at Transcom Service a call. They can help you out every step of the way, all the permits, overweight, DOT, everything you need to get out there towing that first load. They can help you out and get it done in no time. Transcomservice.com, a national company based in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, transcomservice.com. And speaking of jobs, Taco Bell is hiring. The local Taco Bell stores in the Treasure Valley, TacoBellWorks.com. You get more information. And again, they're offering free food while you work, and you get half your wages, up to half your wages, the very next day after your shift. So you don't have to wait 3 weeks for that first paycheck if you need a job. Check them out, SON Management Group. The Nicolason family saw Stan out there at the golf tournament last week with his son. His son, not surprisingly, is the much better golfer. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. And we appreciate Taco Bell and the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, for their support of Bronco Nation News. And LeanFeastMeridian.com. I need to update the graphic. It's LeanFeastMeridian.com is the website. Dave and his staff, I highly recommend it. Go in there, tell them BNN sent you. They'll hook you up with a deal on your first order. Fresh, healthy food, and they now deliver. There is zero excuse, John Mallory, to not eat healthy. Lean Feast delivers. I know Mike Prater's going to get hooked up with the delivery right there in the to the KTIK studios. We're talking about doing a live show out there with Mike here in a couple Mondays when I get back in town. Lean Feast, check them out. Healthy eating. You choose the portions. You choose what you want. You put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it's done, ready to go. 2 minutes is all it takes to eat healthy and eat fresh with Lean Feast. Check them out, Lean Feast. Meridian.com. All right, the 3 starting wide receivers right now, Johnny. If you had to put your weekly paycheck there, that first play against Georgia Southern when they run out there, I'm going Latrell Caples. I'm going Prince Strawn, and I'm going. Oh man, that's a tough one. I might go Austin Bolt. I might go Caples, Bolt, and Strawn for the first play of the season. What do you think?
All guys who've been here. Yep. The new guys, Camper and Marshall coming in, aren't whatever this game is. Like, what is it? The first passing play, the starting lineup. I guess when the depth chart is released, right? Who is 1, 1, and 1 on their 3 receiver spots? Is that what we're talking?
Yes.
Latrell Caples, Prince Strawn, Chris Marshall. That's where I'll go. Those 3 will be 1-1-1 with Bolt, Camper, and Penry behind all 3. Penry will be behind Trell in the slot, and the other 2 on the outside. They all will play, but I guess if I had to play that game right now, that's where I would go. Me and you are in on Prince, man. Yeah, I think he's going to be ready to go. And when Cutter said, that's what you want him to look like. That's almost all I needed to hear, because I know the kid's background and his work ethic with the NFL brother and just the type of guy wanting to talk. I mean, that's who Dirk Cutter had Chris Godwin call, right? He had to call Prince. He does that because Dirk sees it. Like this kid, he's got the NFL thing. Now he's only a sophomore, BJ.
Crazy.
Last year was a true freshman. It feels like he's been here longer. I think he is massively going to pop this year. I'm going to put him in my starting 3.
All right, Johnny, the big final question I have for you. I'm here in St. Louis, as I told you, for a couple of days, going to the Cardinals game tonight.
Nice.
We're going to see Sonny Gray pitch, I believe, against the Rockies. Tomorrow, we're leaving to drive up to Illinois for my wife's family reunion for a couple of days. And if I can make it back on Sunday, 6 o'clock, Fox, national television, the Dome at America's Center, the St. Louis Battlehawks in the conference championship. How much should I spend for a ticket for this thing? XFL conference championship, Battlehawks with a spot in the UFL championship on the line. The cheapest ticket to get into the Dome, sit up in the upper deck, is $18. You can pay $100 or whatever and sit, 50-yard line. What's fair for a UFL football game?
They're opening up the upper deck in the Trans World Dome for this thing.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I gotta hand it to you, because we have this in common. We've lost teams we love. My Sonics, your Rams. Okay.
Yes.
And you don't ever remember them in LA beforehand, really. I mean, you grew up with the St. Louis Rams, but it didn't hurt me as much when the Rams moved to LA because they were previously in LA. And I thought, okay, well, it was less sort of a blow, I thought, than Seattle fans. But seeing what the city of St. Louis is doing in support of the UFL and kind of throwing it in the face of the NFL. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. It's like they're throwing it right on the face of Roger Goodell, saying, you guys made a mistake. This is an NFL market. This is a football town, and having a team here, not having a team here is silly. So what we're going to do is we're going to support the hell out of the UFL. I wish more cities were like St. Louis, because BJ, and I watched the UFL. I was in a UFL fantasy league, man. There's the no one in the stands thing.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah,
like it does take away.
Teams in the league average like 10,000 a game, and the Battlehawks show like 35,000.
It takes away when you're watching a game on TV and no one's in the stands, man.
Yep.
Right? It just does. And then you watch St. Louis, and they got jerseys on of like AJ McCarron. They're buying their gear.
Oh, you got people with like Battlehawk costumes in the stands, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Mad respect to the St.
I
Louis.
might go. I think I'm going on Sunday. I did not plan that as part of the trip, but the reunion ends Sunday morning. The Battlehawks play in the championship at 6 on Sunday night. I may tailgate. I may go. I may live this up, man. I'm as you said, yes, I don't know if they'll ever get another NFL team. I think this is probably a pipe dream, but they're trying to show that they can support a football team at least. But it's fun. It's a rowdy crowd. It's foot. Like, people always want to complain, oh, it's minor league football, whatever. It's football, and it's in June. Like, if you like football and you want to watch football in June, like, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I'm a diehard St. Louisan, so I'll support anything from our city. And Bill says $75.
USL ratings, by the way, were good this year. They were encouraging for the first year.
Yeah,
TV ratings were, but they need to figure out how to get more people in the stands. Hell, just let them in. $5 general admission in the whole stadium, and try to make your money off concessions. Just let them in the damn stadium. $5. Yeah. Come on in. There's that whole side is general admission. Sit wherever you want, but yeah.
Well, they're having so the conference, so they have the XFL teams, the USFL teams, and this is the conference championship weekend. They've already announced the actual championship game, the Super Bowl, so to speak, of the UFL is in St. Louis next Sunday on Father's Day. Smart. So if the Battlehawks can win on Sunday, they're talking about potentially selling out the dome, 66,000 for the XFL UFL championship, which would be insane. I will be in Mexico. I can't do that.
Mexico vacationing. Oh yeah.
I knew where you're going with that. Just stop. Okay. Just stop.
Oh, well.
Doug Gottlieb, high five.
Private jet flying, Mexico vacationing,
Oh, man, I love you, Johnny. Appreciate you jumping on. What do we got on Idaho Sport? I know you've been off for a couple of days. You got any idea on today's show yet? You guys are about to have your meeting.
Yeah, JP, we're 100% confirmed on that. 4 p.m. today, Boise State Athletic Director Jeremiah Dickey on the art of the deal, how the heck this Notre Dame opportunity presented itself, and how they closed the deal, plus a ton of other great stuff. We love JD, BJ, as you do as well. And 4 p.m., make sure, and it's going to be excited. It's exciting to be back. Haven't done a show with Prater since your golf tournament, BJ. That was the last time I've been on the air here. So, when I go on vacations, man, when I come back, I'm ready to get behind the mic again. So,
by the way, speaking of Prater, the Shirts and Skins podcast, Prater was on there. Have you listened to it yet?
I did, man.
It was good.
That when I was traveling. You suggested that originally. I was watching when you were on the Shirts and Skins podcast, BJ. You were like, you guys got to get Prater. And then they got Prater. And then when Prater was on there, didn't Prater say, you guys got to get JP? And they were like, hey, JP needs to be on Shirts.
Dude, he's got some stories to tell, man.
Has to be on that show. So I've talked to him. I know they're going to be in touch. JP's busy. I don't know if he'll, but dude, BJ, by the way, Prater's already going to have more views than you on Shirts and Skins. It's trending that way. He's going to blow me out of the water. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, the Praters, you guys are funnier. You guys are have more charisma than me. I'm not surprised by that. Matt says,
BJ.
Matt says, loved having Prater on. Yeah, you're doing Denver radio. You're a big time star, man. Come on.
Huge.
Appreciate you, Johnny. Thanks to JP as well. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Make sure you listen 3 o'clock, Idaho Sports Talk. And again, they'll have Jeremiah Dickey on at 4 o'clock. And Jay Tust and I, tomorrow, 9 a.m., we'll have Marcus Shaver Jr. on as well as we talk about him being in the TBT tournament. And we'll continue our countdown to camp tomorrow, 9 a.m. with Jay Tust. So have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.